Hi, friends. Welcome back. So this is the headline today. Elon Musk gave 75 million to his pro-Trump group in 3 months, and we're referring to Elon Musk and the super PAC. I think they're calling it America or something like that. Yeah, America PAC. And this was also on CNBC. Elon Musk gives pro-Trump PAC, that's Political Action Committee, 75 million. Announces Pennsylvania voter tour. So I guess Musk is going to be hitting the campaign trail this weekend. He's going to be speaking in Pennsylvania. And essentially, he's dove full head on first into politics, you guys know. Recently, he said this about Trump.
If he loses, man, what?
I'm, dude, if he loses, I'm.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like,
Yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think? Will I see my children? I don't know.
Because it's not like you can say, well, yeah, I maxed out to him, but I get.
I have no plausible deniability.
And we saw this before, right? That Musk was giving to the Republican side far earlier than we originally knew. Basically, it was done through shell companies. So he was trying to hide his giving to the Republican side. I have to cover this stuff all the time. And today, honestly, I'll just tell you, it's exhausting and frustrating. Because the stuff that's happening is so obvious to me. But yet, you still have a large group of people that still want to believe in Musk's lies. What am I saying, and why is this stuff frustrating? So there's this. I was thinking about this today, how to explain it to people. And this is sort of my opinion on it. I'd like to get yours. I think the Elon Musk cult, the people in this thing, one, they're either willfully ignorant. Two, they're either purposely lying. Or three, they really are that dumb. And I'll give you a perfect example. This is Gene Munster. He's one of the Wall Street dudes. You'll see him on TV all the time pumping up Tesla. He recently went to the Tesla event and he came back saying, "Oh my God, guys, these Tesla robots, they're so awesome. This is the future of AI and blah, 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 blah," right? So basically, he's fanboying all along. And then the next day, the report comes out that the Tesla robots were remotely controlled, right? So it wasn't AI at all. And then Musker writes, tweets out right after that, reports that Optimus bots were a teleoperator. Fooled me. And I know I talked about this before, but I'm just saying this is a prime example. And is the question I pose. Is Gene Munster, is he woefully ignorant, right? Is he just not asking any questions, thinking critically at all? Is he not? When he goes to events, he just turns his brain off and drinks the beer and plays with the robots, right? Or is he just purposely lying? Is he lying the first time around when he's telling everyone that this is AI and the robots are awesome? Is he lying, right? Or is he really that dumb? Tesla fooled him, Musk fooled him, and then he tweets out, "Oh, I was fooled. I'm a genius Wall Street investor, but I thought the robots were real." And then that's the question that we're in, and it goes through so much of what happens with Musk and Tesla and social media and stuff like that. And sort of why I cover the story all the time is because it represents the markets that we're in and the world that we live in. For example, this is just a headline, right? Misinformation super spreaders. Elon Musk is personally boosting conspiracy theorists on X. Part of being good at investing, handling your money well, these kind of things is, relying on useful and truthful sources of information. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're going to buy a house, right? It is probably the biggest purchase in your life, maybe education, maybe cars, or right up there. But any of these things, we'll just use the house example. Let's say you go look at said house, you look at the advertisement, you look at the specs, like you talk to the realtor. And what if it turns out that the realtor was lying to you about the house? What if the house has a whole bunch of flood damage, right? And when you read all the inspections or whatever, everybody lied to you, right? They said everything was fine, everything was great. You move into the house and it turns out that the flood damage is real and like there's a whole bunch of mold and things are rotting in the house, etc. Like how would you feel, right? You would feel cheated and you wouldn't like that, right? For me, this is sort of what I see all the time happening with Musk, with Tesla, and so many things that he tweets out all the time is just frankly not true. There's so many things that's not true. I can't go every single one of his lies or misinformation daily, but I see it all the time. Just yesterday, he's talking about slavery this, slavery that, and I can't make this stuff up. I'm just like, okay, this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about slavery, right? Oh, great. And now, now we're going to be touring in Pennsylvania, and now we're giving a whole bunch of money to Trump, and for many people, they don't believe anything that they read in the news. They only believe if it comes from Mr. Musk, right? So this is Musk saying right here, the America PAC aiming for common sense, centrist values, and basically confirming that he's giving the 75 million to Trump. Musk also tweets out 12 hours ago, yeah, when someone said Elon Musk given nearly 75 million to Trump, and yeah, and so I have to show you both things because like for some people they don't believe it unless it comes directly from Musk, and then there it is. And honestly, guys, it's hard because Musk is unreliable. Sometimes he says things that are true, sometimes he doesn't, but oftentimes it's not exactly the truth, right? So let me give you an example. These days now, Musk and SpaceX, they're suing California. Basically, they want to do a whole bunch of more launches, okay? So he's like, hey, California, they just hate me. They hate me because I want to speak the truth, and they hate me because I'm Republican, right? And so he sues. Let me read what California says here, or one of the people, and I'll kind of explain what's going on, but just listen to it here. So first, this is Musk. Musk says, rarely has a government agency made so clear that it was exceeding its authorized mandate to punish a company for the political views and statements of its largest shareholder and CEO. So basically saying, you just don't like me because I'm Republican and I'm Mr. Musk, right? Okay. And this is one of the people wrote one of the commissioners. They said, Elon Musk is hopping about the country spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and attacking FEMA while claiming his desire to help the hurricane victims with free Starlink access to the internet, right? The basic gist of it is that in the situation of FEMA, and why are they bringing this up is because Musk is arguing, well, you're just blocking me because it's all political. It's all political. And what they're trying to say here is like, well, you attack the FEMA all the time, right? The disaster stuff over in like North Carolina and various states. But what all you really want is to sell your Starlink to a bunch of customers, right? And if you guys don't know, Elon Musk will give you 1 free month of Starlink. You have to buy the equipment. And then after that, you sign on to the contract, and it's like $120 a month after that. So what is this? What is this SpaceX stuff about? So this is my understanding. You look into it. There's an article here, right? SpaceX sues California, and you look deeper. And this is something that I mention all the time. Are the Musk people, are they willfully ignorant, meaning that they're illiterate and they won't read? Have they read this stuff and they're just purposely lying, or are they too stupid to even understand what they're reading? This is what we have to deal with all the time. And so like I read through the stuff, and it's actually pretty clear to me. It says right here, the agency at its October 10th meeting has said commercial space launches are not federal government activity and must submit to the Commission's Coastal Development Permitting Authority. So basically, what's going on is and I'll play a couple of clips for you, but Musk wants to do more launches, right? So they're already launching stuff, and this would be stuff that would be government activities, so like the federal stuff. And if he wants to do more commercial stuff, right? He needs to get more approvals, but the concern is that what about the wildlife there? What about the coastal region and all of these kind of things, right? Do you want to be launching every single day? This, for example, in a situation for like someone like a Mr. Musk, he doesn't really care about the local area. If he's going to drop rockets on your house, poison the water, right, damage a wildlife habitat, so be it, because this is all the progress of Musk's commercial and money-making ambitions. So
Tesla gets a lot of regulatory oversight on the automotive front. I mean, we're subject to, I think, over 100 regulatory agencies domestically and internationally. It's a lot. You could fill this room with all the regulations that Tesla has to adhere to for automotive. Same is true in for rockets and for currently the limiting factor for SpaceX for Starship launch is regulatory approval. The FAA has actually given their approval, but we're waiting for Fish and Wildlife to finish their analysis and give their approval. That's why I posted, I want to buy a fish license on, which also refers to the Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need a license for your fish? I don't know. But according to the rules, I'm told you need some sort of fish license or something. We effectively need a fish license to launch a rocket.
And so basically he complains about regulations, right? And,
nonetheless, we were forced to kidnap a seal, strap it to a board, put headphones on the seal, and play sonic boom sounds to it to see if it would be distressed. This is an actual thing that happened. This is actually real. I have pictures.
I would love to see this. Yeah. There's a seal with headphones.
Yes, it's a seal with headphones, strapped to a board, and like now the amazing part is how calm the seal was.
Yeah.
Because if I was a seal, I'd be like, this is the end. They're definitely going to eat me.
Yeah.
How will the seal, when a seal goes back to other, its seal friends, how's he going to explain that?
They're never going to believe him.
Never going to believe it. And that's why I'm like, well, it's sort of like it's like getting kidnapped by aliens and getting an anal probe, You come back and say, I swear to God, I got kidnapped by aliens and they stuck an anal probe in my butt. And people are like, no, they didn't. That's ridiculous. His seal buddies are never going to believe him that he gets strapped to a board and they put headphones on his ears. And then let him go.
And for Musk, the situation is, okay, I complain about regulations because let's say I want to get my robo-taxis on the road, right? They're not level 5 autonomy yet. They're not even near that, but I want to put them on the road because I want to test these things as much as possible. I don't want to put side view mirrors on my cars. I don't want to put any kind of, way to exit the car if there's an emergency. So forget door handles. I don't want a steering wheel in there. So if anything goes haywire, you can't steer the thing. So forget that, right? Like, there's regulations in place because you want to worry about people's safety, or there's regulations in place because you care about the wildlife. But, and I'm showing you this, for example, it says Tesla robotaxi network expected to scale before competitors. And so then what happens is you flood the quote news and Teslarati. It's not really news per se. It's just EV stuff pumping up Tesla. And what do I mean by that? If you read this, so the headline says, robotaxi network expected to scale. And then you read into it, and basically all they're doing is they're citing ARK Invest. This is Tasha Keeney, so she's probably going to replace Kathy Wood. And Tasha, she says, oh, well, Tesla's going to be awesome, and their network's going to be great. So it's not any kind of announcement from Tesla. It's not any kind of proof that they're, expanding the network. It's just their estimate of what's going to happen in the future. And then that hits the publication, and then all the Tesla bulls will repeat this kind of speculation. That's all that it is. And guys, I can give you an example. And this is sort of, I brought this one up because it's kind of funny. My wife and I, we did an actual review of the Kia EV3. And this is the headline. And I want to show you how you can read different types of news. This comes from Eadside EV. They just have put a bunch of EV stuff on their website all the time. And it says here, a Kia EV3 video review, an affordable EV quote ahead of Tesla, right? So they're basically clearly indicating that this is a review and showing that this was my opinion of the EV3, that it was ahead of the Tesla. Now, whether or not you agree or disagree, that's certainly your prerogative. But I think this was at least labeled properly, that this was just someone's review and someone's opinion of the Kia. Whereas something like this, the Teslarati thing, and guys, I didn't submit my my video to that electric vehicle website or whatever. I just found it pop up one day and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And if you don't know, this was our actual review. And if you want to see the review, please look at it. I don't work for Kia. I don't work for any of these companies. I tell you just flat out, I just think it's a better car. But that's not the only car out there. I think if you want to go get a Honda or Toyota, I think that would be fine. I think if you want to get a truck, go get a Ford F-150 or Chevy or whatever, or anything else, where you don't have to pay $120,000 for a Cybertruck with no payload. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. But this is the world that we live in, to where, again, are people willfully ignorant, purposely lying, or really that dumb? I don't know. I can't tell. I can see what the result is, but I don't know. But I go through all this stuff all the time because I just want to make it clear, like, this is stuff you have to deal with in the marketplace. This is an interesting thing I want to go over too. This was Michael Jordan, and there was a famous quote from Michael Jordan. It says, and I'll go through it. And this actually comes from well, we'll just go through it. Michael Jordan stands firm on, quote, Republicans buy sneakers too. Quote says it was made in jest, but basically is like, hey, Michael Jordan, and if you don't know, he was a famous basketball player. He used to play for Chicago Bulls. I know some people are actually too young who've never actually seen Michael Jordan play, but I can tell you he was really, really good. And when you get to be at his level, just people watch you all the time and they kind of think of you as an idol, the same way that some people think of Musk as an idol, and they want to get your opinion on everything, right? Even though, and I'll just be perfectly frank, I like Michael Jordan. He bounces the ball really well. He shoots really well, but do I need necessarily to hear his politics? Well, that's an interesting question, right? Because he's a role model for some people, and I want you just to hear what he says, because it is an interesting question. So well, I'll read it. I don't think that statement needs to be corrected. So again, Republicans buy shoes too, right? Essentially is what the statement is. I don't think that statement needs to be corrected because I said it in jest on a bus with Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen. Jordan said, it was off the cuff. My mother asked me to do a PSA, right? So public social announcement for Harvey Grant. And basically it was, or Gant. I don't know if they were running for senator or representative, but basically it was in a political, race in North Carolina. And his mom was basically saying, hey, you should endorse this candidate. And I said, look, Mom, I'm not speaking out of pocket about someone that I don't know, but I will send a contribution to support him, which is what I did. That's an interesting way that he talks about it. And then Jordan goes on to say, I do commend Muhammad Ali for standing up for what he believed in, and this would be being against the Vietnam War, and that's Muhammad Ali. But I never thought of myself as an activist. I thought of myself as a basketball player. I wasn't a politician when I was playing my sport. I was focused on my craft. Was that selfish? Probably. But that was my energy. That was where my energy was. And you get into some really, it's a complicated topic because, guys, in my opinion, I think it's a totally fine opinion. I think it's fine for anyone, to express themselves any way that they like. Okay. I think you can, vote for anyone you want. This is what democracy is. So, okay, I'm with you there. The issue becomes is that when you're CEO of a publicly traded company, right, where are your priorities? So I can certainly, understand if someone says, well, Chris, Elon Musk doesn't care about profits at Tesla. He doesn't care about money at all. He just, is promoting his political beliefs. Okay. And okay. And I understand that would be your point of view. No problem. I'm right with you there. The issue becomes is you are costing people a lot of money. Your company is basically based on, frankly, fraudulent lies. Another way to say it, a lot of broken promises. Your profits are down 45%. And now you're parading around literally showing that Tesla is not your priority and you're heading into politics. So, in my opinion, if that's the way you want to go, just step down from CEO of Tesla and just go into politics. If that's what you want to do, it's odd to divide your attention so much, right? And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, but some people say, oh no, Chris, Elon Musk is Superman, right? He can do everything all by himself and have, as many kids as he wants, as many, women as he wants, and run as many companies as he wants. Like some people think that way. And then again, I go back to, are you stupid? Are you ignorant? Or are you just purposely lying? And I'm bringing this stuff up too. And I've mentioned this before, I'll mention again. Many of his own people over at Tesla are quitting on him, right? So this was an example exec leave right before the robotaxi event, but this is just one of many. I count 5. I'm sure there's more top level people, and I think it was like from my memory, and it's hard to keep track. It was like 2 direct reports left Musk. Then you had the chief information officer left, and then they had like a vehicle programs manager, and then a vehicle programs director, and then there's more people other than that. And it keeps going. I mean, it's crazy. So then the person he's supporting, and this is sort of why I think sort of where it's heading. This is this is Trump here, and Trump is saying, oh, I don't necessarily want to tell the Fed what to do, but I should be allowed to make comments on what the Fed does, etc. And essentially you have these people that are what's the right word to say? They break the norms of the system, right? And someone made a comment recently, which I thought was an interesting one. They were saying it's a lot of the things that Musk does. It's like borderline legality, but definitely breaking norms, right? So the norm is before, and this is just the truth for this kind of stuff. Say a CEO, and that because my wife and I we have this conversation. She's like, well, here in Korea, it's not that necessarily. Just for example, in Korea, and same in USA as well. It's not that necessarily CEOs don't have political opinions or CEOs don't get involved in politics. They just give money to both sides. It's like that's the prudent business decision to do, right? If I need certain things, I just give money to both sides. So, and then you run into the other issue of your original supporters who bought Tesla cars were into electric vehicles. They're all about climate change, these kind of things. And you're going with the party that's like doesn't believe in climate change, and you're going with a candidate that wants to cut, EV subsidies and calls green energy a scam. It's like this stuff doesn't add up. So, and it just goes on and on. It just gets frustrating every day. Here's another example. This is just October 17th. I mean, you see right here. Trump social media investor gets prison for insider trading. Like there's too much stuff to cover every day. Basically, again, Musk is aligning himself with Mr. Trump, who's just has a social media company. 3 of the people were charged with insider trading. 1 got 22 months. I'll say basically what it was. The they were going to make public announcement, that they're merging with Trump. And then what the people did, they told all their family and friends, this is what we're going to do. And then they announced it. And then, they obviously bought the stuff ahead of time. And we're talking about millions of dollars here. I don't think it was in the billions. I think it was millions. And the prosecution was basically saying, we had to give this person prison sentence because if not, then the wealthy can just think they can get away with anything that they want. The dude, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, it's $22 million. I guess they made on this thing, and they were found guilty. I'm just going through because I want you guys to understand this stuff exactly. The U.S. had asked U.S. District Judge Lewis Lippman to impose 24-month sentence for brazen corruption and greed, because he was telling people valuable information. And then it says here, this is the kind of case of where if the defendant doesn't get prison time, it will send a message that wealthy people can get away with it, right? And so, I like to live in a world where, law is applied equally to both rich and poor, but I'm not stupid, right? If you're rich, you have a different law than poor people. And I mean like mega rich kind of people. So, for someone like a Musk, you throw your weight as best as you can behind someone like a Mr. Trump. You hope you get pardons. You hope you get relaxed government regulations. Because remember, someone like Musk doesn't want regulations. He wants to launch as many rockets as he possibly can. He wants to put as many robot vehicles out there before they're ready and anything like that. And, and then you have this situation to where he's moving around Bitcoin to who knows where, unknown wallets. I talked about this yesterday. And then you have this endless parade of stock pumpers that tell you how awesome you are. I want to point this out, guys. I just been thinking about the last couple of days. Whoops, it's the movie Idiocracy. If you haven't seen it, please do. The thing is, it's a comedy, it's a joke, but sadly, it's becoming closer to documentary and tragedy. I really think this is where we are at right now. And I also want you guys to see, if you haven't seen this already, please see Bitcoin. Let me just pull this up again. Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie already, it just kind of shows you what people like, Musk are behind the scenes, or like the Tesla stock promoters that you see on YouTube. They're very much like this Bitcoin kind of person. They may look handsome on the outside, but listen to, again, this is a documentary, listen to the phone calls and things they say behind closed doors. And again, for someone like a Musk and his followers, right, are they really lying? Are they lying about the robots, or do they really believe that they're awesome? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So please share your thoughts on this thing. What do you think? Musk is hitting the campaign trail, giving $75 million to Trump recently. And who knows if they're giving more? Who knows if they're buying a bunch of watches and such like that? So that's what's up. I do appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the next video.